Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Starting 11 here on the Let's Get Ready Network. I'm Adelia. That's my buddy Snark. We're down to the last couple weeks of the season. And Snark, we've had a bit of a makeover since our last episode.
What are you talking about? Like, I just put a little bit of eyeliner, a little bit of blush on my cheeks and stuff. Is that
I'm,
what you
I'm
mean?
talking about our awesome new background from
Oh,
our wonderful editor extraordinaire, Danny.
yes.
Thank you for that, Danny.
Yeah, looks great. Yeah, I really enjoy it. Thank you a lot. Now it turns out he's a Brazilian guy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, might be, yeah, you know, he knows as much. He probably knows more about the graphic stuff than he does the football stuff. But
I would guarantee that he knows more about the graphics than the football.
yeah, he did a great job. I couldn't imagine all the work that went into this. Oh my goodness. But yeah,
I know, it's
fantastic.
crazy. But
Yeah,
thank you,
thank
Danny.
you,
We
sir.
appreciate it.
Yeah, if you want to see, if you actually want to see Danny, LGRN After Snark weekends on the Let's Get Ready Network. There you go. First plug out of the way.
All right. Where do you want to start, Snark?
Oh, where do I want to start? Where do I want to start? Okay, well, let's go back all the way back to last Thursday. Uh, it's a fine day in West London. The day where order in the world was restored.
I knew you were
Chelsea,
going to wax poetic about this.
Chelsea, once again, taking the double from the lowly Spuds. And it's there's three things. There's three things in life that you should be able to depend on. Death, taxes, and Chelsea taking the double from Spurs. And yeah, once again it happened. And this time, not like last time, over in their latrine they call a stadium. We
Mm-hmm.
and where they had two men sent off and stuff like that, and Nicholas Jackson gets a hat trick of really goals that anyone could have scored. But uh, this time they have no excuses.
No, they
They
have no
had
excuses.
they had everyone on the pitch. They Ange Postecoglou and his high line. Like we already said, like we know how to beat you guys. We showed people. Like remember how much of a run they were on until they
Mm-hmm.
met Chelsea on
Yeah.
that fateful day. Ever since then, wavering, and now it's a nosedive for Spurs. Somehow they were still in the conversation for a Champions League spot. I guess officially not out of it, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. Yes, it's just there's few things in life I enjoy more than slapping around Tottenham Hotspurs in a midweek game. A midweek game? Come on. I guess if we want to talk about the game itself, how about Trevor Chalobah getting a header in there for a goal? On a free kick from Conor Gallagher. Conor
Mm-hmm.
Gallagher getting a huge new banner saying Chelsea since birth. Now, of course, the rumors are, of course, that Spurs are going to try and swoop in and sign him this coming off season. I believe there was rumors of that throughout last summer as well. I cannot ever imagine that happening, but the ownership has done such ridiculous things with money that
Yeah, and like he'd be pure profit for Chelsea, so he might be one of the ones that, because of financial fair play rules, has to go.
also we just talked about Trevor Chalobah is the one who actually got the
Mm-hmm.
goal. Again, profit. Somehow we have to get rid of Lukaku. But there's Ian Matson, I think, is going to get sold to Germany there into Borussia Dortmund. So yeah, but we got guys like Lavia in his
Mm-hmm.
32 minutes to play the midfield and stuff like that. So we got that. We got Cassidy.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah.
All these guys that you guys had to get because you wanted to collect. You guys had to collect players and not actually build a team, but whatever. Just take the heart and soul of this club away from us and give it to Spurs of all team. Whatever, ridiculous. Let's talk about Spurs real quick. They had three shots on net the entire game. They had
That's
six.
crazy.
They had 63 possession. possession. They had the ball all the time. They just couldn't do a damn thing with it. Now, Cole Palmer, talk about him real quick. Has a nice, lovely free kick that goes off the crossbar. Everybody just watches it for some reason, except
Mhm.
Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson runs up and says, you know what? If I bet you, if I put my head to this while nobody's watching, I could probably put it in the net. And he did.
Mhm.
Nicholas Jackson scores, make it 2-0. Insurance at that point. There was no way. They were like Spurs never looked like they were going to score this entire match. Now there was like that game against Villa they had before this. It took them a little while to get going. Actually, they played pretty well that entire game. They just had a couple letdowns earlier, whatever, to go down 2-0. They probably should have won the
Mhm.
game versus Villa. They played that well. They play really well in this match. Maybe Poch has finally found something. Of course, way too late. Way too late for
Way
this.
too late.
But
Yeah.
something maybe to look forward to. Maybe it's not so Poch out. I haven't noticed that hashtag trending anywhere near as much as I had
Yeah.
throughout the year before that. But it's just so there's few things in life I enjoy more than Chelsea beating Spurs. I just love it. I got to do it twice this year. After this whole crap season, you can just go, oh yeah, this is the reason why I love watching football. Just to see Chelsea beat Spurs. That's why last year was so ridiculous. Anyways, I got more to talk about later. So let's move on from this. From the
Okay.
only one of the only London derbies that matter. You know what I mean? Anyways, let's move on to Everton and Luton. In a match where if this was happening a week or so ago, probably would have meant more. Still means something.
Yeah.
Still means something to Luton, though. Everton now, of course, safe, will be safe, and didn't even have to wait till the final day. So good on them. The pressure's on Luton at home to get a good result. But Everton get on the board first from a Dwight McNeil corner. Ted Mengi grabs Jared Brathwaite. When I say grabs, he lifts him up. He lifts him up like he's the his house is flooding. He has to grab his dog. He just picks
Yeah.
him, just
He
picks him up.
just arms completely wrapped around his waist, just completely picks him up and puts him down.
To Brathwaite's to say for Brathwaite, he just goes limp. He just goes, oh, okay. Like
Yeah.
what do you
Like, what is he
want to do?
gonna do at that point?
Yeah. Of course, the ref actually didn't call them. He
No,
didn't.
of course not. Of course not. There was no
Yeah.
call on this. VAR intervenes.
Yeah. So
Then of
VAR
course
goes.
it's a penalty.
It's like, yeah, what do you do? What do you do? So it's Dom Calvert-Lewin that gets to go to the spot. He's finally starting to turn things around.
Yeah.
Again, too late. But 7 minutes later, in the 31st minute, Elijah Adebayo heads down a Lokonga cross in the box, then finds a little bit of space for himself and spins and fires in a goal for Luton. But that would be it. Neither side finds
Yeah.
a winner. They go level with Forest for now. Luton, they get up to 17th spot, but they're way down at goal differential. It's not even
Yeah.
close.
I was really surprised because I feel like this is this stage of the season where it's risk or reward, and it's huge. You've got to take the risk to get the reward.
Got to go forward.
Put
Who cares
more
if you lose?
offensive guys on for Luton. Like, I don't know what Rob Edwards was doing.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
he
poorly
waited
managed.
so late to make those substitutions, and then they just didn't have any time. You've this draw, you're thinking, okay, a point is better than nothing, I'm sure. But with the result that we're going to talk about coming up, Forest going to Sheffield United, like Sheffield United's lost like what 25, 26 times this year. Like, you had to anticipate that was going to be a Forest win. You had to go for this win, and they just didn't.
No wins
Luton.
in their last 4 matches for Luton. Some of those Probably they could be kicking themselves over. They should have picked up points with. But
Yeah.
yeah, just the desperation isn't there. Also, with Burnley uh, uh, hot on their heels now as well. Burnley entering the picture as well. Maybe we'll talk about them real quick in their match because they were at home. They were at home to Newcastle. Newcastle, of course, a top 10 team, but such a weird season for Newcastle. Again, you just didn't know what
Yeah.
they were going to get. A win by Burnley would have put them over uh, Forest, depending on what Forest was going to do. I think they were playing at the same time on Saturday. So now, Burnley suffers a big blow to their safety hopes in this one because, Callum Wilson gets Newcastle's first goal. He knocks in a rebound from Alexander Isak, 19 minutes in. Sean Longstaff gets a second, 35 minutes in. And then Bruno Guimaraes also scores before the half is up. So at home, Burnley needing these 3 points, and they give up 3 goals in the first half at home.
Yeah.
Can't be good for them. Second half, yet another flop by Anthony Gordon. When are they just gonna tell him no? Like,
I know.
unbelievable, unbelievable. Of course, he's rewarded with it. Isaac actually gets stopped from the spot though. Muric, he gives up 4 goals in this game. He was still Burnley's best player, and it wasn't even
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
They get their Isaac does get a goal 3 minutes later though. It makes it 4-0. And the back line on that goal, where were they? They were just kind of wandering around. They were like ladybug style soccer there, just picking flowers. So,
Yeah.
Daryl O'Shea heads home a John Goodmanson corner in like the 86th minute or something like that, but way too little, too late. Newcastle's actually up to 6 now, somehow. Burnley's going to say
Somehow.
two back of Forest. Forest now going to be playing over Bramall Lane, so we'll talk about that. Sheffield United, Forest, big matchup here for Forest. Of course, Sheffield United, the only officially relegated squad. They want to be able to play spoiler at home. Turns out they're not very good at home though.
No, they're not very good anywhere.
I was gonna say they're also not very good on the road,
Yeah.
except when they go to Stamford Bridge and they're
I mean, they had
Real
moments this
Madrid.
year, but
Yeah. Anyways, Forest needs 3 points to get some breathing room for the last 2 weeks. Of course, they play Burnley on the last day of the year on the Sunday. So Sheffield United score first. It's Gonzalo Montiel. Goes through Ben Brereton in the box. Now, we're going to talk about some questionable penalty calls. This one was not a questionable penalty
no,
call.
not
He
questionable.
slides through him. I believe some of the things I saw, the term just lazy was mentioned quite a bit. So
Yeah.
it is Ben Brereton or Ben Brereton Diaz puts it in after 17 minutes. But they couldn't find another one. They played well. I think they just couldn't get another goal. My old pal, Callum Hudson-Odoi, gets 2. And they're sandwiched between a Ryan Yates marker. Forest get a huge win. They
Huge
move.
win.
It's huge. They are now 3 up and 11 goals up on Luton, and now 5 up on Burnley. It'll take a miracle now for Burnley. Well, you say miracle, it's still Forest. They very well could lose next week.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
wonder who they're playing. We'll talk. I guess we'll talk about
yeah.
that in a bit. Yes, Sheffield, of course, gets to enjoy the next 2 weeks with the nice travel and the nice accommodations before they're sent down to
Yep.
the championship, which is
Yep.
is also very nice. The championship would still be one of the top leagues in the world, and they get an incredible amount of money
Yep.
from broadcasting rights. So whatever, I'm sure it's not so bad. Anyways, we'll move on. Did you know that there was another West London or another London derby, not a West London derby? Yeah, actually it is. it's a West London derby, Brentford and Fulham.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they played.
It happened.
That is something that the records will show. People spent 90 minutes watching a nil-nil
Yeah.
draw. That's enough. That's all we have to
Yeah.
say about that match.
No,
One
no
team,
consequences. Nothing to
yeah,
do. Nothing. It just happened.
yeah. One team will be 12th, one team 16th. Neither team are being relegated. Neither team are really gonna challenge for anything. Who cares for them? Unless maybe there's something in people's contracts, or if they get goals or something like that. But didn't work for them on this one. Nobody could score. I
Yeah.
think Mbumo hit the crossbar. So there you go. Man City, your favorite team, right? Something like that,
No,
right?
no.
Taking on the Wolverhampton Wanderers
Mm-hmm.
in their red kit that they wore. Now, City extracts a little bit of revenge from the reverse fixture, the shocking win by Wolves. Erling Haaland basically has wrapped up the Golden Boot now, scoring 4 times, and Julian Alvarez also scoring for City. Of course, if they win out, there's nothing Arsenal can do.
I'm
They
fully expecting that now.
We'll see. They do have like
With
Pep
the
was
with
Pep
the
was already crying
form,
about all the matches they had to play. He was already
but
crying about all the
with the form that Spurs are in,
yeah
I can't
yeah.
see them beating City,
That's
and
their biggest challenge. They
that's
just
the
need a
biggest
draw.
challenge.
All you guys need is a draw.
Yeah, City's got West Ham on the final day. Like, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, pretty tough. Wang Yi-chan
And Fulham,
gets the other
Fulham
goal.
this Saturday. Fulham's not doing anything against Man City either. So
Nope.
115 charges. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah. I'll send you something. There's a blogger on YouTube talks about this and city's ties to Sky Sports and the newspapers and stuff like that up there. It's pretty fascinating stuff.
Really would love to see that. Yeah.
Uh, you want to talk fascinating? How about Arsenal and Bournemouth, your favorite squad, doing what you have to do? You guys are
We
doing what
we
you have to
we
do.
we won the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys deserved to win the game.
Yeah.
Let's say this. I want to say
I
that
don't I
first
don't
of
know
all.
about the score line was deserved, but we deserved to win the game.
The scoreline wasn't deserved. The scoreline wasn't deserved. Now, I'm of course talking about first off how Kai Havertz absolutely suckers David Coote into calling a
Yeah.
penalty.
Yeah.
That is one of the worst things I've seen in a while. The lazy drag of he's dragging his back foot so much you can see the earth coming up. Like he's
Mhm.
dug in. Like how is that in a
Yeah.
natural motion? He's not like the keeper's allowed to go there to try and get the ball. He isn't still sliding when this happens.
Yeah.
Havertz slides into him.
This was not a penalty.
Yeah,
It just wasn't. I've seen them call penalties for stuff like this year,
yeah. It's just
and
a bad call.
because it's not a clear and obvious error, VAR's not going to overturn it. This was a bad call by David Coote.
Yep.
Um, it shouldn't have been a penalty. The commentators I was watching said no penalty. The commentators on the highlights I rewatched of this said no penalty. Like everybody knew this wasn't going to be a penalty, and then it was a penalty.
Yeah, it's
So
ridiculous. There was not. Yeah, really. VAR can't over. You have to do the clear and obvious path and stuff like that. They have to get
it
that
wasn't
wording.
clear and obvious. Like what is the
Get that
definition of
wording.
clear and
Just get that
obvious
wording out.
is
Take the
so different for each referee and each situation. Like they need a clear set of what that means.
yeah. Take out the
Cause
wording. Clear and obvious error. Just say
yeah,
error. Has he made an error in that call? You can say yes.
yes,
Yeah, that's not a penalty. That's not a
yeah,
penalty, guys. Now,
it's not.
all this in mind. Remember, I do believe Arsenal has a well-deserved win here, and like this doesn't matter in the long run, anyways. But it's Saka, of course, that comes up, kicks
Yep.
in the penalty for a 1-0
Mm-hmm.
lead. Their next goal is a good one. Trossard making it 2-0. I really like the job by Rice to find him. He's inside the box. He kind of looks like
Declan Rice was so good in this game.
Yeah, really nicely placed shot by Trossard as well.
Mhm.
Now, 5 minutes after that. Now, I want to get your feeling on this one. The Bournemouth goal that's disallowed. Now, Solanke, it's not even a 50-50 thing. Like, I think Raya is still on the ground. Solanke's shoulder may have grazed Raya.
Yeah,
Raya then
this
goes
is
up for the
ridiculous.
ball and makes to make a play on it. Misses it. Ball comes off the crossbar and stuff like that. The ball eventually goes in. This is what they call the slight rub from Solanke on that. What
This
also
is
they could have done.
ridiculous.
Another thing is Saliba grabs Philip Billing by the shirt and pulls him down right in front. You're
Yeah,
supposed to look at that too. That wasn't called a penalty. That's on VAR.
that's
Uh,
definitely on VAR.
yeah, maybe
Um,
maybe the other one isn't, but the shirt grab and pulling Philip Billing down is definitely a penalty.
yeah, I would agree with that. When they said that goal was called off because of a foul on Raya, I was like, "What?
Yeah,
Like, what foul? Like, there was no foul on Raya." Saliba definitely got away with one there. It should have been a goal for Bournemouth, whether through counting the goal that went in or
yeah,
through a penalty.
yeah. Either way, and also who knows? It wouldn't have been the first or only penalty that could have been stopped. You don't know
That's
if
true.
Solanke would have scored. I'm going to say he probably would have, just knowing Dom Solanke's pretty good at penalties as well.
Yeah,
Anyways, absolute horseshit officiating. It was like
yeah.
David Coote. Come on, terrible.
He was terrible in this game, and
Yeah,
it affected both sides. So
yeah. Uh, yeah, let's see. Declan Rice with the third one in injury time. Nice play by Gabby Jesus to set it up.
mhm.
So,
Gabrielle also scored in this game a real
oh yeah,
beautiful goal, but it got
yeah.
called back for offside.
Kai
I
Havertz
never saw
offside.
a I never saw the replay of the offside, so I don't
Kai,
know how
Kai,
offside he was, but
he was enough, that thing or whatever with a kneecap or
yeah,
whatever up and whatever.
yeah,
He was enough upside. You looked at it one time and say, okay, he was offside. And Havertz going up to head the ball back over to Saliba.
yeah.
Saliba wasn't offside. It was Havertz.
Yeah, I'm not calling that egregious, but it was a beautiful goal from Gabrielle.
It was nice. Well, I think the announcer was going a little bit over the top, saying it
It
was
was
one
a
of the goals of the season. It's like,
That was a little over the top.
pump your
I
brakes a
mean,
little.
but
Let's not
for
do
a,
that.
for a central defender to do that, it was a nice goal. But
He's
yeah,
when he's in the box, he's he can be a threat to be reckoned with. Saliba is a nice shot.
Gabrielle is amazing.
Yeah,
So yeah,
we'll move on. We'll move on to the South Coast
okay.
and Brighton hosting Villa. Villa looking to shore up now a Champions League spot. A win will assure them of a fourth place
What
finish.
happened in this game?
They absolutely blew it. They had nothing. They
They
had nothing.
totally shit the bed.
The game's 1-0. Probably should have been 5-0,
Yeah.
6-0. Brighton just not very good, not very clinical, as they say, with their chances and stuff like that. And to
Why did
think
Emmy Martinez not play this game?
it's because of that was it an international or something like that? There's a weird rule. I think it might be an international play or whatever. If you get a yellow card, like in the shootouts or something like that, if you get a yellow card, you have to miss like not the team's next game, but like the second game after that. It's very strange. I
Uh,
know that they
appa-
talked about it before, but yeah, it's about him getting a second yellow card late in the
uh,
game.
apparently, he was withdrawn at halftime in last weekend's draw with Chelsea after he picked up a hamstring injury.
Oh, I thought this was all about that thing they were talking about with the when he's going to be excused out of it because of the weird second yellow card or whatever rule. But anyways,
No, apparently
okay.
he has a hamstring injury. I
Oh,
was very confused as to why Emmy Martinez wasn't in goal because you'd think you'd want your top choice goalkeeper in there no matter who the opponent is when you're trying to secure a Champions League place.
yeah.
I guess
Robert
they couldn't have
Ro-
him.
Robert Olsen played pretty good.
He
Like
did.
what?
He
Yeah,
did.
he was probably the best player on the pitch for Villa
Yeah.
because all their stars were missing. They're all missing. There was nothing. They
Yeah.
had nothing. Uh,
I
I'm
mean,
trying to remember what they even had on targets. I think it was only like two or three shots on target. Like they just had nothing going on. But it's a weird and soft penalty that does the damage here. Ezri Konsa again, just a tiny nudge. It's a nudge on a Dingra.
why is this a penalty?
It's ridiculous, ridiculous. And João Pedro takes the penalty, and it's actually saved by Olsen, which is nice. But the
Mhm.
rebound goes straight up or whatever. So
Yeah.
Pedro just goes forward, knocks it in, and that's the winner. 87th minute. It took him 87 minutes to score on them.
This
But
game was a slog to watch.
it was awful. It was awful
Yeah.
to watch. Yeah, but Villa. So Villa with this keeps a mathematical hope alive for Spurs.
I mean,
Mathematical.
yeah, we needed that
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
their the I still don't think they're going to beat City, but if they have something to play for, they might actually try, which it doesn't look like they've been doing lately.
They tried in the second half of the match against Liverpool. Actually, they tried for about 5 minutes. So
Yeah.
yes. Now we'll go to Anfield, and as the announcers would remind us, maybe 200 times, that this is
Yeah.
Jurgen Klopp's penultimate game at Anfield.
The funniest part about this is someone had to explain to Jurgen Klopp what penultimate meant
Oh
because
my god.
somebody
Well,
asked
English
him about
ESL.
that. His
He's
penult
ESL. ESL.
I know ESL, sure, but it's just the way it was slightly amusing to me.
Hmm.
Um, everybody kept calling it his penultimate match, and then they mentioned it to him, and he was like, "What does that mean?"
I like it. He has
Yeah,
a lot of he has a lot of money. Anyways, yes. So his squad build up a 4-0 lead. Mo Salah scores. Andy
very
Robertson.
easily built up a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, there was no resistance to this.
No
Uh,
resistance from Spurs.
Cody Gakpo scores. Harvey Elliott scores. Uh, that they decide, oh, okay, we worked hard for about an hour and a bit. Might as well let's just coast the rest of the way. Uh,
Yeah,
Spurs get two back. They get one from Richarlison. They get one from Sun Hung Min. So I will say this about Richarlison. He actually looked fired up. He actually looked like he gave a shit. Maybe
yeah,
for the first time in his Spurs career.
yeah,
Uh, I would say that if Spurs are going to take anything from the dreadful form they've been in of late, that actually maybe an engaged Richarlison would be to their benefit. It was only so much to their benefit. They still lost.
yeah,
They lose 4-2.
yeah. The post
Yeah,
game interview with Ange Postecoglou was very funny because the guy kept trying to ask him what went wrong and how they played, and he was like, "Mate, we just weren't good today. Do you want me to write you a dissertation or something about what happened?"
they want him to admit that the high line doesn't work. That
I know.
he's so like he just loves that high line. He says we're always going to press. We're always going to go forward. We're always forward, 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 forward. We get
And
it.
it burns them a lot.
Yeah, when
They
teams
need to
actually
get
want to
much
play,
better at it.
and they're just not in it for a point or something like that, or trying to get
Yeah,
something out of it. When you want to play and you want to win, those teams are going to destroy Spurs. Sorry,
yeah,
that's just it. They just don't. They can't. It's just the counterattacking alone. They're just going to run past you guys. It doesn't matter
yeah,
if Pedro Porro, how aggressive Porro is when he's 5 feet behind you already when you're starting your run. What are you gonna
yeah.
do?
Shout out to Trevor, friend of the show, who was on our preview show this year, who was very unhappy on Twitter
I
while
would
this game was
imagine.
going on.
I would imagine. I wouldn't have been happy either.
Yeah.
I can tell you that I was quite happy though, and I
I
saved
was
this
too.
match. And I'll save this next match for last because it made
Yeah.
me incredibly happy. Last of the weekend matches. Yet another London derby. Yet
Mm-hmm.
another club that your gracious co-host absolutely can't stand. I hate West Ham.
I
I
know
hate
you do.
I hate West Ham. I hate Spurs. I hate Fulham. I hate Brentford. You
This
don't even
game
you don't even want to know what I think of Arsenal. Yeah,
and
I hate
Chelsea may have finally signed the death note for David Moyes as the manager of West Ham.
I was gonna bring it up in the end. We'll still do it at the end. We'll still do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so an incredible way to finish the weekend for me. Yet another derby win. Um, a little bit of revenge from that weird 3-1 loss we had in August. That one where Enzo could have put us up 2-1, but he kicked maybe the worst penalty kick I've ever seen in my life, and everything almost fell
Yes, I
apart from
remember
there.
that.
Yeah. Uh, uh, Now we get goals from Cole Palmer. It's his birthday today, so he gets a goal the day before his birthday. Happy birthday, young Master Palmer. Uh, Also, Mateo Kovacic's birthday. He's in City now, so I'm not going to say happy birthday to him. But if this was last year, I'd
Uh,
say happy birthday.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
Noni Madueke scores a nice one as well.
Mhm.
Uh, we get 2 goals from Nicholas Jackson in this game. One, because the pass was so nice from Noni Madueke, who was actually had his
It
head up
was a
and
nice pass,
was
yeah.
looking that even Nicholas Jackson couldn't miss that easy of a tap in. Uh,
Yeah.
and you just see the West Ham support, the West Ham defense just stop as soon as they see the pass come over across the box. It's like, all right, I'm not even going to try for this one. Let's see what else. Jared Bowen hits the crossbar 3 times. How do
Mhm.
you manage that? Conor Gallagher also hits the crossbar from right in close, but yeah, uh, ridiculous. How do you do that 3 times? Incredible. Now,
Mhm.
so yes, Chelsea wins the game 5-0. Everything just seems better. I decided, well, I haven't worn Chelsea shirt in quite some time. I thought I wasn't going to put the flag up again this year. I did sing a couple of times a rousing chorus of "Blue is the color." Afterwards, I was walking around like a little. Yeah, it was pretty fun. I had a good time on Sunday.
You should have, because that was an absolute demolition of West Ham.
Can this be Chelsea moving forward? This kind of thing, like again, like
They
Chelsea
do
fans
look
don't
like
talk
they're
about it.
starting to figure it out.
14 first team members gone, but maybe they needed to get rid of so many or whatever just to get down to a bones of it, of group that's actually can work together for a few weeks in a row, and you can see what happens. Now,
Yeah.
is Mudryk going to be part of that? I think Mudryk has to go out on loan. I don't think you can keep Mudryk on this squad next year, because I'm pretty sure you're going to move Nicholas Jackson into his spot. He looks really good on the left wing. We finally get Christopher Nkunku back for a little bit.
Mhm.
Had a try or whatever at the end or whatever. He looked okay, but of course with his injuries and stuff like that, is he a legit 10 for us? Probably not. Or is he a
Yeah.
legit 9? Definitely not. I don't think I can imagine Christopher Nkunku being a striker. Plus a 10, you have Cole Palmer and stuff like that too. So, yeah, it's just the defense. The defense is looking better. They go to a back 3, and they look better.
Mhm.
Mark Cucurella, where has
He
this
has played
guy been?
very well the last couple of games.
Yeah, the last 3 games, he's been great. It goes from putting goals into his own net to looking like, a legitimate.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say 60 million. I wouldn't say a 60 million pound guy, but yeah, no, a legitimate maybe 40
He
million pound
he
guy.
he at least looks like he knows what he's doing now, which he has
Yeah,
not looked like all season.
yeah. Things may be coming together here. We get Malagusto again in late, which is good. Uh, we don't see much of Axel DCC. You see him later on and stuff like that, which is good. Now, yeah, so good news for Chelsea. There's good news in Chelsea. Like if the season lasted another month or so, maybe we could definitely think about a Europa spot. I don't think that's going to happen. That is far
Yeah.
fetched. The Conference League thing, maybe, because Chelsea's in seventh spot right now.
Yeah, I think depending on the way that your FA Cup final goes, you guys might get that Conference League spot.
We'll see. Uh, we'll see. It's we can still maybe make it to six. It's difficult. It'll be difficult. Now,
Yeah, you
we
guys are
always
2
say,
points behind Newcastle in 6th.
yeah. Still, who knows what we're gonna get out of Newcastle? We got Forest,
Yeah.
and I can't remember who we have on the last day of the year.
Last day of the year, you play Brighton again before that, and then last day of the year you have Bournemouth.
Yeah. Well, those are winnable games.
Yeah, it's
Those are,
possible.
we'll see. We'll see. Still Chelsea this year. So as soon as I get my hopes up, I'm assuming I'm gonna have my legs cut out from under me. But speaking of having your legs cut out from under you, what
Yeah.
are we gonna do? What are we gonna do, Adelia? Since this program started, we said David Moyes still has a job,
Somehow.
and now he doesn't. Well, he
He
does. He
doesn't.
does.
He
He does
does for a couple
officially.
more weeks.
2 more weeks. He does for two
Yeah.
more weeks. It's announced that he they said, I think they said through mutual agreement, right? I don't think that's ever the case. That his contract will not be renewed going into next year. He ends this spell at West Ham after 4.5 years, finally winning them a trophy after whatever it's been 43 years without winning I say
Mhm.
a major trophy. Come on, the
It's a
Europa
European
Conference League.
trophy whether we like it or not,
But
so
a major one. All right, we'll see. Well, it's a major one if Chelsea wins it next year. We'll say that. Now, uh, the most impressive trophy in all of Europe. So, good luck to him. Now, Julian Lopetegui is the guy who's it seems that has been picked
this is an interesting choice to me.
because he done such wonders at Wolves.
Yeah.
And wasn't he at like Real Madrid for like 4 months? Didn't he was
He
in
was
like
at
3 months
Real
before he was
Madrid for, like,
fired?
4 months.
Ugh.
He was the Spanish national team coach until he took the Real Madrid job.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, like, he could go there and because it'll be a different system, a different voice, he might get them playing much better than they played this year. It could also turn into an absolute disaster.
The fans at West Ham only want attacking football. They don't care. They don't even care if they win. They just want to
Yeah.
see goals because they're not very bright. They're
Yeah.
not very smart people. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's like they've been holding their breath for too long. You know what I mean? It's like they've been they were born in a gasoline dump or something like that, and it's like they've been soaked gasoline soaked rags, and it's all gone to their head. They don't
Jesus
care.
Christ,
They
Snark.
don't care if they win. They don't care if they win. They don't care how
No,
well they do. They
they
only want to
don't.
see goals. They only want to see the
Yeah.
shiny things. It's like, all right, have
Here's
Julian
my
Lopetegui.
question. Here's my question to you:
Oh boy,
does David Moyes get another Premier League job?
I think he's too old now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in
I
his
think I
60s.
think David I think David Moyes becomes like the Sam Allardyce that we used to have, waiting for one of the teams to get in trouble, and then he comes in and tries to save it. I don't think he gets another job to start next season, though.
It would also have to depend on the system and stuff like that. Like they'd have to be a defensive minded team first and
Yeah,
foremost. That's tough. Now, does he go into broadcasting or something like that? Maybe. Who knows?
maybe.
Maybe
I
there's a
mean,
job for him there. Maybe into just
yeah.
another type of management. Maybe he moves into a board. Like I could see him even sticking around West Ham, just in a different
I
capacity. But
I don't know about that with that sporting
yeah,
director that he supposedly clashed with all year. Like,
yeah, we'll
I don't
see.
know.
We'll see. It's all a title and name only for those things. Anyways, it's not like you depend
Mhm.
on them for doing much. So we'll
Yeah.
see. Yeah, I don't expect he's definitely he will not be on the sideline next year. I'll say that.
No.
And of course, cut to next year, and this clip can get played and stuff like that. I'll have to eat my hat. But yeah, I just don't see a way. Anyways,
Yeah.
let's talk about another manager that might not be around next year.
Yeah.
I
I
can't see
I
a way.
I can't see a way that he stays either, but I sincerely hope that he does because it's just too amusing.
I hope he
It's
stays for
just
life.
too amusing.
If they
Like,
give
there's
him a
a
lifetime
report out
contract,
there
I'll
that
kick in.
there is a report out there that it's going to cost them too much to get rid of him, so they might keep him, and I was like, "Oh, please do that. Please do that."
Yeah, if there's one thing you and I both know, is that Manchester United is a charity case that they
Mhm.
that they can't afford. They can't afford anything. What they can't afford, in all seriousness, is to keep losing games 4-0. Yeah, like they did today. And they
I'm so mad that I had to miss the majority of this game because I was in a meeting at work, but, this seems so amusing
it
that
was
I
pretty
might
fun.
actually go back and rewatch it.
It's entertaining to watch. It really is.
Yeah,
Now, you're talking about missing the game. Someone else misses the game. Bruno Fernandes misses the game. Might
I
not think
saw
that's a
that.
big deal, but he has played 230 straight games for Manchester
Mhm.
United, which is amazing. His first ever game that he's ever missed in a United shirt.
That's crazy.
Yeah, ridiculous. Now, it's a guy again. This guy was close to being in Chelsea. It would have been nice, but now it looks like he's very much might be joining United next year. Maybe not under Ten Hag, but Michael Elise getting Palace on the board first. 12 minutes in, he absolutely breaks Casemiro's ankles in this. It is like I don't know if you've even watched the highlights yet, but
I
it
haven't
is
seen the highlights, no.
the move he puts on Casemiro, and Casemiro just drops. It's incredible. It's like he took a soul from his body. That was right near midfield, and then there's all kinds of space. There was nobody else in the middle. It is a Manchester United midfield that had Mason Mount starting, so of course nobody was around. There was nobody around. He was he was allowed basically to saunter. He saunters in from midfield to the top of the box, picks a spot in the bottom right corner, scores. Next, let's see. I think actually next comes the other bit. Now, I said there's another call that was similar. In the 27th minute, uh, United gets a call back. Hoyland, it looks like it's a 50-50 ball. Hoyland and Dean Henderson go up for the ball. Looks like Hoyland nudges into him. Hoyland kind of comes over. The ball goes in the net. Like Hoyland didn't even touch it. It goes in the net. It gets called off. Now this one I do agree with that it is that it was a penalty. Well, that Hoyland should have been called on this one. You do see when he makes contact with Henderson in the air, Henderson just goes fades off and stuff like that, and he's moving over. If he was going straight up like basketball,
Mhm.
I'm fine with it. But he's jumping in to Henderson at the time, so that goal gets called back. Then JP Mateta gets the second one in the 40th minute. Again, some absolutely terrible defending by Johnny Evans. And I don't know if Johnny Evans is in for Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire is that goddamn announcer. I can't unhear that. Every time I see his name now, I think Maguire.
Yeah.
Anyways, Johnny Evans was playing, at the combined age of Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire's got to be 75 years old or 80 years old or something. That's incredible. Anyway, all
Yeah.
he does, all he does to try and stop Mateta is stick his leg out. He's the only guy back. All you have to do is stay in front of him. You just run with them. Just stay in front of him. That's all you have to do at that. Like a one-on-one defending and stuff like that. But he was just static and sticks a leg out. Not good enough. Absolute laser to the top of the net by Mateta. It was a real nice shot. There wasn't anything that Onana was going to be able to do there. Then you get to see a little bit of a bickering on the pitch between Mason Mount and Busaka, which is always fun. It's nice to see United fall to pieces on the pitch. Tyreek Mitchell makes it three just after the halftime. Adam Wharton's cross in. goes to Joachim Anderson. Anderson has someone all over him. Still manages to get a boot on it and just falls to Tyreek Mitchell. It's a nice play there by Anderson. And then that was that was just before the hour. I think that was at the 50th minute mark. Michael Elise gets his brace. After that, Pals win 4-0 at home.
That's just such an insane scoreline.
United had 2 shots on target. United did nothing. This entire game did nothing. I think, and the one I think was from a free kick or something like that. It was got pushed over the bar. I want to say, I think Oliver Glasner is doing a hell of a job with Palace.
He really is.
It reminds me of when Unai Emery took over last year for
at Villa.
At Villa for looks better. They just seem to look better. They're so much more forward. Something's got to be done about Eze, like Eric Eze. All kinds of talent. You can see the talent on there. He for whatever reason he can't finish, and he makes some weird decisions on the pitch and stuff like that too. But how do you get rid of Olise? I know you'll make money, but how do you get rid of Michael Olise?
I know.
Ridiculous, especially with Jordan Ayew. Maybe get rid of Jordan Ayew. Like if you have to drop somebody there, wouldn't Ayew be the guy? You don't get rid of someone so young and Olise just because of the money. You know, I don't know. Whatever. It's Crystal Palace. Yeah. It's South London, so who really cares? But anyways, congratulations to Ollie Glasner. Eric Ten Hag. I guess you have to. He'll be the coach through the end of the season, right? There's no way that he's not the coach. It'll be a
there's no way they're
decision.
Firing him before the end of the season. No,
they can't. What are they going to do?
Yeah. I particularly am very happy that Man United is in this form because we play them this weekend at Old Trafford.
Yep.
And that's going to be fun, hopefully.
This is the furthest down the table they've been in, what did they say, 40 years at this point of the season? It's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Their previous worst finish in the last 10 years, I believe, was when David Moyes was their manager.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't reach the point total that they got under Moyes this year, is what I read.
Yeah. How many losses now is it for them? 16, something like that?
Crazy. It is 13 losses.
13 losses. Yeah. It looks good on them.
That's definitely Man United's most amount of losses in a while.
Yeah. Good.
It does. It looks very good on them. Long may it continue.
They could be humbled. They could be. They Chelsea cut, everyone giving them shit forever here the last 2 years. United's turn. Give them shit.
Long may this continue.
Yeah, forever. Okay. So we did our predictions last week.
We did. Yep.
Want to know who won?
Yes.
It was a tight match. It was the final score was 7-6, I believe. Never mind me. I'm not looking up anything. Okay, 7-6 for moi. 7-6 for me. We both got a draw right.
Nice.
Yeah. I won 7-6, and I plan on continuing that this week. Maybe I'll get every single match right for the first time ever. But
I don't think either of us have ever done that.
I don't think I've ever come close. I think the most we've done, I think we've done it with one loss. I think one of us did it with one loss. I think it was you. Anyways, we'll start at Craven Cottage, Fulham and City, and you need a bizarre result here.
We do need a bizarre result here. We're not going to get it. City will win this probably quite comfortably.
Yeah, I think City's going to win too. Bournemouth and Brentford.
I'll go Bournemouth.
I thought you were going to say a draw. I'm going to go Bournemouth too. I think this is their last home game. So yeah, why not? Yeah. Everton, Sheffield United.
Everton. Sheffield United can get their 27th loss of the season.
I'm going Everton as well. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I wonder if they just play kids. Who knows? Might as well.
Yeah. The game means nothing, so who knows?
Now, at St. James Park, Newcastle and Brighton.
I'm going to go Newcastle.
I need Brighton to get a result here, but these guys can't score. They couldn't score
No.
in a brothel. I'm going to
Yeah.
take Newcastle as well to win, even though I need Newcastle to drop points here. Spurs is going to get Burnley. Big matchup for Burnley.
Big matchup for Burnley. I will go with Spurs though. I just can't see them not beating Burnley.
Yeah, I'm going to say a draw just because,
That would be
Spurs.
fun.
Just
That
to
would
say
be very
Spurs.
fun.
It does not help Burnley. They
No.
need wins anyways. So this isn't to see chaos. This is just to say Spurs. Now,
Yeah.
West Ham at home at London Stadium to Luton, and this is like Luton's run out of chances. They got to get a result here.
I just don't. I feel like they're like resigned to the fact that they're going down after watching that game against Everton. So I'm gonna go with West Ham.
Even a draw helps them though. Like even a draw, they need one. One of them has to be a win, but a draw helps them. And either one of their last two games.
I just don't think that they're gonna be able to stop West Ham.
Yeah,
Which is a weird sentence to say.
West Ham couldn't score against Chelsea. They hit 3 crossbars, one guy. But yeah, I agree with you. I think West Ham's going to win the game.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think that's the end of Luton's chase. Wolves and Palace in a match where it's going to happen.
It's gonna happen. I'll go with Palace after this performance.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to go. I'm going to go for. Yeah, I'm going to go Palace as well. Now we got to go to the City Ground. Forest and Chelsea. Forest need a result. They do two things, as you know. They win at home. They score the counterattack. But Chelsea,
they kind of
looks like
haven't
they're
done
in form.
either of those things this year.
Not this year.
Chelsea's in really good form. Forest is probably the most confident of their position of the teams that are still fighting the relegation spots. I'm gonna go with a draw.
Ooh. Yeah, Chelsea does not play very well on the road. They're quite good at home these days. Still not very good on the road. Your draws probably works, but I'm going to say Chelsea wins because I'd rather be wrong.
Yeah.
Now, big matchup. Man United, Old Trafford against Arsenal Football Club.
I will take Arsenal Football Club.
Yeah, I'm going to take Arsenal too. I don't know what you guys' record is at Old Trafford. Probably not very good. Not many.
It's not
Teams have
great.
Yeah.
We get a lot of bad refereeing calls there.
Well, I think a lot of teams do.
Yeah.
Of course, Man United famously helped out for so many years. But I think their time's come. I think.
Yeah, I agree. They look terrible this year. I don't know how they're that high in the table. I really don't.
Bananas. Like I said, like we say this every week. I don't know how they're here. I don't know how this happens. Anyways,
Yeah.
let's see. And a big match for Villa, and I guess a marquee matchup just on strength of the two teams. Villa and Liverpool also play.
This is what Jurgen Klopp's second to last game in charge.
Yeah, now it's just his penultimate game.
Now it's not the penultimate home game anymore. It's now just
Right.
the penultimate game.
They're gonna bust out penultimate one more time.
I'm gonna go for a draw.
Ooh, okay. I like it. I like it. I'd sure like to see the Liverpool lose this match. Villa has something to play for. A draw also helps them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say they win it. I'm gonna say Villa wins.
Okay.
Even though they were terrible against Brighton. They were terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's something to them though. Okay, next match. The last match we're gonna talk about. It happens on the Tuesday. Spurs and City.
I really need Spurs to get a result here. I just don't think they're going to, so I'll go City.
She's going City. Do I say a draw? Do I say something weird happens?
I don't know.
It's not like City is great defensively these days, even though they got all the players.
I mean, they're not.
Spurs want to score goals. Maybe I'll say a draw. Maybe this is going to be it. Maybe I'll say draw. If this a draw, that'll be madness.
madness. If we beat Man United and then this is a draw, that last weekend's going to be really interesting.
Be banana. If that's a draw, you guys are in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
We'll see, though. We'll see.
I just City is such a machine at this end of the season that I just don't see Spurs doing anything. But plus, like, there are petitions being signed online, I've noticed, of Spurs fans who want them to tank this game against City, no matter what they're still playing for, just so
Just go
Arsenal
over
doesn't win
Arsenal.
the title.
I can
Yeah,
appreciate that. I can appreciate that. As a
I
fan,
can
I can appreciate
appreciate that too, from a shithousery kind of way. But
Yeah. Just for spite. It's always,
yeah,
spite is such a good motivator. So 11 matches next week, our penultimate episode of the season. And for our
Yep.
last one, I was thinking there'd be way more, but there's 12 matches. So it kind of splits all the
yeah,
matches between the next two shows, which is great. And we're not doing a 20 episode rundown. We're not doing like a 16.
that's yeah,
11 and 12, not so bad. It's not so bad.
not so bad.
Right. And hopefully Chelsea win 3 more games. I would sure love that. But we'll see. I got the shirt
Yeah,
on, so we'll see. Blue's the color, everybody. That's all you have to know.
sure. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this episode of Starting 11. Snark, where can people find you?
You can find me cheering on Chelsea. I can tell you that. Also, you can find me with yourself on the
Mm-hmm.
Rewatchers Council Thursdays on our entertainment network. Here on the highlights, you can find me and Ryan Christensen doing Playoff Beards. We'll be doing an episode as you watch this later on this evening. If you're watching it as it debuts, as you should. We'll be doing also, I just realized we're going to do the watch along tomorrow on Playoff Beards. So on Playoff Beards, we're going to do it at 6:00. The draft lottery actually happens at 5:30. So
Okay.
we may be able to, by the time we come on, be right there for the first overall. Whoever's going to get first overall, we'll see. The Jets can't get it, so I don't care. I got Jets news to talk about tomorrow. Lots of hockey talk tomorrow. I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
And then weekends, Let's Get Ready Network after Snark with Danny. Should be doing one this weekend, I believe, but won't be on the Saturday, either Friday or Sunday. I'll figure it out sometime this week.
Yeah. So links to the channels are in the description of this episode, both the entertainment channel, this channel, and the Twitch channel. You can find me, as Snark said, on this show Tuesdays 3 p.m. Pacific for 2 more weeks until the end of the season, and then Thursdays 3 p.m. Pacific on the entertainment channel for Rewatchers Council. And that's it. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And until next time, we are out.